The love and marriage Huntsville curse strikes again. This time it's with Marsau Scott. He was arrested, laid in there long. Looks like he posted a $300 bond and was out pretty quick. In there long. Looks like he.
Marsau Scott is making headlines once more, but this time it's not for a business decision or a reality TV moment. He was arrested, and this isn't just another minor run-in with laws. As you may have noticed, Marsau has a history of running afoul of the law. He has been given tickets for traffic infractions as early as 2008, and then again in 2009, 2018, and 2020. He's been getting tickets and moving on, but this time he wasn't just pulled over, he was put in jail. What precisely went wrong this time then? Well, let's dissect it. Marsau Scott was taken into custody on March 28, 2024 in Huntsville, Alabama. It initially appeared to be just another standard traffic stop, but when officers found an outstanding arrest warrant, the situation swiftly became more serious. A missed court date was the root of this issue. It had nothing to do with a serious crime. Normally, Marsau would have to pay the fine or appear in court to deal with the speeding ticket, which he had received several times over the years. Instead, Marsau skipped his planned court appearance, and in Alabama, that doesn't just go away. The court issues an alias warrant, allowing law enforcement to make an arrest on the spot when someone does not show up. That is precisely what occurred when officers ran his information during the traffic stop. The warrant was flagged by the system, and Marsau was taken into custody right away. He got jailed instead of just receiving another ticket. However, this is not Marsau's first legal run-in. Why then did this incident result in an arrest? Let's examine it in more detail. Marsau has over 10 years of history of speeding infractions. Years later, in 2018 and 2020, he received additional speeding tickets after being cited for a traffic infraction in 2008. This was not an isolated incident. Receiving a ticket and failing to take the appropriate action to address the issue is a pattern. He didn't just receive a fine this time, though, because he disregarded the court's orders, which is a serious offense in Alabama. The system does not simply forget when someone misses a court date. Instead, it issues warrants to ensure that people appear, and if they do not, law enforcement has the authority to arrest them as soon as they are located. Officially, Marsau was taken to jail at 9:26 p.m. He was processed the same way as other prisoners that evening, including fingerprinting, mugshots, and paperwork, but he was released shortly after. At 11:15 p.m., he was released on bond for a mere $300. The bond amount attracted a lot of attention. Some fans felt that, given Marsau's position, it was far too low. Given his prominence on reality TV and ample financial means, shouldn't his bond have been higher? Others contended that since it was a minor infraction, the bond was appropriate. Comments erupted on social media, with some accusing him of irresponsibility and accusing him of not taking the law seriously, while others thought it was exaggerated. Ultimately, Marsau was free, but the discourse surrounding him was not. So are there more serious problems at hand, or is this just an isolated error? Let us investigate. There are other members of the Huntsville cast who have experienced legal issues following their marriages and loves. Other cast members have encountered trouble over the years. Marsau's brother, Marsau Scott, was arrested in May 2024 for DUI. Fans were taken aback by Destiny Payton's identity theft charge, considering her public persona. The cast is further complicated by Martell Holt's prior conviction for domestic abuse. With so many legal problems coming to light, fans began to wonder if this was all a coincidence. While some think it's a reflection of more serious problems within the group, others think reality TV's attention brings personal issues to light in ways that they otherwise wouldn't. In addition to being a reality TV personality, Marsau is a businessman. Although he has established a reputation as a clever, driven businessman, particularly in the real estate and hospitality industries, legal issues can cast doubt on a person's professionalism. Running Black Cigar Lounge with LaTisha is one of Marsau's most well-known endeavors. The lounge's reputation is based on exclusivity and elegance, and it serves affluent patrons. Could Marsau's arrest, however, harm the company's reputation? It might not matter to some customers, but it might raise suspicions for others. When a company owner is in the news for the wrong reasons, it can cause people to reconsider supporting that brand. Marsau is active in real estate and construction outside of the cigar lounge. He has frequently presented himself as a serious businessman who is committed to accumulating wealth and success. Now, though, some fans are wondering if his disregard for a court date is a reflection of his business dealing. People in business value dependability and professionalism, so even though this arrest wasn't a serious crime, it still raises questions. Negative press can also turn off potential partners and investors. Some people might question whether Marsau manages his businesses in the same manner if he isn't juggling his personal affairs. Social networking comes next. In the modern world, public opinion counts. A scandal can follow a person for a very long time. This could remain with Marsau if he doesn't deal with it appropriately, making it more difficult for him to get rid of unfavorable perceptions of him. LaTisha is the first person Marsau fans turn to when drama breaks out. She has always been his staunchest ally, but their relationship has also drawn a lot of public criticism. She has not yet discussed the arrest, but her silence speaks volumes. LaTisha has previously defended Marsau against rumors, particularly when they questioned his faithfulness. However, this time, the matter is different. It's a legal matter, not merely a matter of gossip. Will she intervene and minimize the arrest, or will she remain silent and allow Marsau to deal with it? After that, there is marriage and love. The cast of Huntsville, while some cast members might take this as a chance to criticize Marsau, others might be in favor of him. Will the cast members support him or turn away to safeguard their own reputations, given that this is not the first time they have encountered legal issues? Marsau is not an exception to the rule that social media goes crazy whenever a celebrity gets into legal issues. He is being defended by some fans who claim that this was merely a minor error. People are exaggerating the situation, they contend, and missing a court date isn't a big deal. They contend that this is merely a small annoyance that Marsau will grow to ignore. Critics, however, are not overlooking it. They point out that this is not the first time he has encountered legal problems and that disobeying a court order does not exactly indicate responsibility. Many are referring to it as a pattern rather than an isolated incident. Some have even questioned whether his propensity to sidestep responsibility in legal proceedings is indicative of the way he manages issues in both his personal and professional lives. The reaction of Marsau is one thing that everyone is keeping a close eye on. His usual strategy is to stay out of the controversy and hope it goes away on its own, but this time it might not work. Being silent could make the situation worse because there are so many people speaking. If he doesn't take charge of the story, the internet will. Marsau has cultivated his public persona over the years. He has portrayed himself on Love Marriage Huntsville as a prosperous businessman, a devoted family man, and a man who upholds traditional values. However, when legal issues arise, that perception is called into question. First, there is the commercial aspect of things. Celebrities frequently collaborate with brands, and many businesses do not wish to be linked to bad press. Could brands reconsider collaborating with Marsau in light of this circumstance, if he has any sponsorships? Even if he has no official endorsements, negative publicity can still make it difficult for him to draw in investors or business opportunities. And then there's his credibility. A significant aspect of Marsau's brand is his reputation as a responsible, diligent businessman. But will he still be taken seriously if he is perceived as someone who disregards his legal obligations? Perception matters more than the seriousness of the offense. However, there are ways Marsau could limit the harm because even a minor error can cause people to doubt your character in public. It could be easier to mend things if he accepts responsibility and publicly admits what happened. People will fill in the blanks with their own presumptions if he completely avoids it, even if he uses it to start a discussion about responsibility or spin it as a lesson learned. What Marsau does next will be important at this point. Is he going to take action and resolve the issue, or will he allow the internet to tell its own version of events? There is no doubt that this incident now concerns more than just a missed court date. It also concerns his handling of the fallout. As of right now, Marsau is remaining silent about his arrest. He hasn't posted anything on social media, given an interview, or made any public remarks. This silence is causing people to talk even more. Some fans think he's avoiding the subject for a reason, while others think he's simply waiting for the situation to end because it was a traffic problem, rather than a serious crime. Might there be more to the tale? Did Marsau start taking his legal issues more seriously as a result of this? How this will impact marriage and love is another concern. Although drama is what reality TV is all about in Huntsville, legal issues can occasionally push things too far. Will they accept responsibility and begin holding the actors responsible for their deeds? Or will they allow the controversy to increase viewership? A combination of business-minded leadership and messy personal drama has always been a part of Marsau's role on the show. Will this arrest harm his reputation as a responsible businessman or make him more relatable in the eyes of his fans? There is no doubt that fans are still discussing Marsau's most recent arrest and that the rumors aren't going away. However, do you guys believe that this was an isolated error, or that Marsau is having more serious problems? Post your opinions in the comment section.